Hi, I'm Lay with Lay Scheidel's Network Marketing Support Group, and I was just getting ready to provide you with a training for using Canva. This is really for new beginners, people that really haven't had much experience at all with using the software. You can go to canva.com to get this software, and there are lots of things that you can do with it for free. So don't be afraid to go and get yourself a copy to at least get started with certain aspects of this software program. So what I wanted to do today is just show you some basics on how to create some really professional application, uh, not application, posts, graphics posts. And what we start with when we're looking at Canva is a screen that has all different kinds of choices, but mainly you have a created design. And what we have with that are preset, already determined pixel sizes for use in all the different social media venues and anywhere you might be wanting to create particular uh, graphics image for. And so this is the most common one, this first one, social media, which is 800 pixels by 800 pixels and is obviously square. And you have the poster, which is bigger, and you have a presentation. It gives you the sizes down below on all of them when you run your mouse over them. And so we have a Facebook event cover, which is something I use quite a bit. I have used the thank you card. I have a Facebook cover, which is a little bit different than an event cover. That's for a specific event that you're creating, and this is for your basic, say, your profile page, Facebook cover, or a Facebook group, or a Facebook fan page, or a Facebook business page. All of those you would want to use this option here, and it's already preset to what Facebook wants to put in that space. And then Facebook's posts are a little bit different size than the average social media of 800 by 800, but you can use the 800 by 800 just as effectively as selecting Facebook. And when you do that, this first one can be used in more social media platforms, uh, and it will come out looking more like you expect than if you were to use it in the Facebook post mode and then want to say post it on Instagram or social or on Twitter. It wouldn't be as effective to select this Facebook one as it would be to select the social media one in general. Also, I wanted to note that if you click here on more, there are a multitude of different styles, and these are all preset sizes. That's all that it's giving you. There's nothing else associated with these. Although it's showing you different pictures in all of them, there are no pictures on all of these. This is your canvas. This is your blank board that you're going to put uh, your graphics, image, and text onto, whether it's for a presentation, a poster, a post for social media. These are the different size options, and you have events, and you have, say you wanted to do wedding invitations as part of your business, or any kind of invitation, announcements, just a thank you card, a photo collage where you wanted to put more than one picture together. They have a preset one created here. And these are the different choices that you have, and I'll let you explore that further on your own. So what I'm going to do to get us started and to give us a sense of what to work with, the first thing I want to do to help you make everything professional is help you create a custom label. So we're going to use this Use Custom Dimensions button, and we're going to click that, and it's going to ask us for some sizes that we want, and I'm going to have us, for the purposes of this demonstration, create a label that's 500 pixels by 100 pixels, which is a pretty good size for creating labels to be used on all of your social media. What I mean by labels when I'm using that as a term right now is I use it for logos, um, and that's basically all I'm using it for. But you could use it for a multitude of different things. So right now I'm going to create a label. And the first thing to do this is you'll notice on this far left side we have different options. Layouts, which is showing you pictures of elements, text, backgrounds, and uploads. And we have all of these different options available to us. And the first one we're going to select, probably one of the easiest, is text. So you click on text, and then you'll see all different kinds of sizes, styles, and such. Right now we're just going to work on the basics. The basics are this is the largest, a subheading size and style, and a smaller size and style. You can use any of these three. Really, there's not much difference except for if you customize them later, you could have each one set to something specific. Right now, none of us have that. We're just working with a new free version of Canva. There is a paid version, by the way, and we'll talk about that more later or in another training. So I'm going to select the text. And to move that text, I need a cursor that looks like a crossbar with arrows on it, and there it is. If you'll notice, if I move around, it changes from the pointer arrow and then becomes the one I just mentioned. And then I can move that to where I want it. And so, for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to change to my font style for my branding, and I use the Allura. That's what I like. And this is bigger than I want, so I'm going to bring down the size. And you'll notice that the box has a certain size to it and the text is centered. First of all, let's cover the information about the text itself. You can change your font by clicking this font, and then you'll see a window that opens up with all different fonts. And on the right hand side, there's a scroll bar where you can scroll down and look at all the different options that are available. So yeah, I could change that to that, or any of these different things. Those aren't my choices. I have a favorite, and I think I'll go back to that. So Allura is mine. In addition, you can change the size, and you click there, and there's all kinds of size options. And if that's not the exact size, let's say you want something between 21 and 24. That's not working exactly for you. And so you could actually highlight that number, and you could put in 22.5 if you wanted. Anyhow, it will just exactly to your specific needs. And so I'm going to leave it at 24 for now. And then note that I could select the color. And for me, I have a brand color already. But let's say you wanted some color. Let's say you wanted a green one, but that's not the right green for you. So if you'll go to the top where it says Document Colors and click on that plus, you'll get a color wheel. And from that color wheel, you can adjust the colors. And if that's not dark enough, we got a darker color, but if that's not dark enough, we could darken it by going there. If you want it lighter, you can go that way. That's too light for me. Anyhow, those are the different options. These are the I like the purple family for my branding, but everybody can select what they like. And so I'm going to go to my brand color, and I'm going to click off of that. Then I'm going to highlight the text again, because I wanted to show you bolding won't work on this particular font, neither will italicizing it. So I have to accept it just the way it is, or select a font that allows me to use those features. And if you notice this icon, this is so you can align your text. Right now I'm set for centered, and I'm going to change that to left justify. You have left justify, center, or right justify. Also, I'm going to adjust the width of the box for the text and just bring it in tighter, a little tighter. And then I'm going to highlight this text, whoops, and you can do that by accident. If you don't get off of it sometimes and come back to it, it will move around on you rather than allowing you to highlight text. So just click off of it and then come back to highlighting, clicking it and highlighting it again, and that will correct that situation for you. So I've put that where I wanted it, and I've put that about where I wanted it. Well, actually, no, I'm going to move it over because I'm going to add another thing in a minute. So we're going to select some more text. That's way too big for what I want. We'll go down to about that. We'll left justify it. I like the Trochee font, so I'm going to keep that. I'm going to highlight the text and change my text here. Okay, you'll see that it jumped to the next line because it wasn't quite wide enough. And so I want to make my box, my text box, just a little wider until it bounces back up there. And I'm going to adjust it where I want it, which is really up here. So I'm going to adjust that there, and then I'm going to adjust this there. Then I can either go over here and create another one of those and mess with the adjustments, or I can just click this and I can copy it, and then I can move it, and I can go off of it and come back to it, and then I can highlight the text, and I'm going to add my link. And then I'm going to adjust that so those are lined up, and you can see that's all lined up. I want them kind of closer together, maybe a little down, maybe a little down. This is all by eye, kind of what you feel, but you're kind of wanting to fill the space up somewhat. And then for me, these are too big for me, so I'm going to go down a little. 9.5 and 9.5. Highlight the other one and highlight that and make it 9.5 as well. Okay, so they're all lined up. I got that. And I'm going to add a photo image. So I'm going to go way to the left side and see where it says uploads. And I would normally click uploads. And then after doing so, I would note here that it is pointing to a place on my computer's hard drive. And I would select the option which will point me to my file pictures that I want, and that would be this, and I would select that and then open it. But in my case, I already have it selected, and I'm going to go over it. And if you look below the upload images are all the images you will have loaded in the past. And so I'm just going to use one I already uploaded, my picture, and I see it there, and it's bigger than what I want, so I'm going to adjust it. And then I'm going to move it over here, and it's still too big. So I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to move this over like that. I'm doing this on purpose to help you see how easy it is to just kind of make all these adjustments as you go. And this is a little too long, and I don't want to adjust it back. Well, I could just adjust that back, so I will. And I've got everything lined up in the way I want it. And so then you'll note this spot here is where you're going to add your file name. And it already gave me a name based on the first text that I created. And that's not enough information for me because I'm going to make a black text one for light colored backgrounds. And I'm going to make a white text one for dark backgrounds. And we'll talk about that as we go. So I'm going to label this a black label. And I'm going to say done. And then I'm going to save the file. Now to actually save the file, we're just going to click on download. Download is how you save a file in Canva. And click download. I recommend a PNG file in almost all instances for use on multitude of platforms available in social media. Now, because this is a label and I want to put it in different places and I want to put it on top of pictures and things, I only want the text to show. I don't want it to look like a stuck on label, which is what it would look like if I left the white background there. So I'm going to make it transparent. What that means is the photo and all of the text will look just like it is, but that white band that you see, the canvas, will be clear. And so whatever the background is on the photos will be see-through, and you'll be able to see that later. But we're going to click download, and we're going to save this file. And this will actually save in Canva as a design that you have created. But saving it in this manner allows you to easily access the file and utilize it in all the different places you might want to utilize this later. And so we get it to there, and I have my Canva set up so that by default, it automatically opens the graphic software that I'm utilizing. I'm using Corel Painter Essentials 5, and I believe that one cost me $19.95, and I got it from online, and it works really well on my personal computer. And so that's the software that I've opted to use. It works really well with the PNG files, and I found it to be really successful software to use. So I save it wherever it's going to open, and you will be able to set that utilizing Canva. It will give you an opportunity to set for default what software that you associate to the designs that you create in Canva. So then you would, at this point, you would save your file in whatever manner you save it for the software that's available to you. And I've already saved this file and don't need it, so I'm just going to close it myself. And then I'm going to minimize the software, and then I'm going to click on the outside here so we get back to our label. Now I need another one exactly like this, but I need the text to be white so it stands up on dark backgrounds, because if I try to put that black text on without the white label background, that text will get hidden on a dark background. And so I need another one just like it, and I can click that button over there, which is a duplication button, and you'll see a page number 2 now, which looks exactly like page number 1. And I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm just going to click the text. I'm going to go up here to the color wheel. I'm going to select that. I'm going to scroll down because on my palette there is a black to white shades of gray. And I'm going to select white, and then it will look like my text has gone away, but of course it hasn't. It's white on a white background, so it becomes invisible. So now we're going to do that one. I'm going to do the same thing. Click the color box, scroll down, select, oops, that didn't work. Do that again. Scroll down, select the white one. It's turned white, gone invisible on the white background. Click outside of it, and then I'm going to save that one. So I'm going to download it. Oh, no, wrong. I have to change the name, and I want to overwrite the black name with the white one. So I want to change black to white. Tell it it's done. This is just giving it a new name. Now we're going to download it. Note that it's on page 2. Once you've got more than one page, this automatically wants to make you a zip file. Well, a zip file is not effective for use in using these individually. It might be useful to move it over to a web page or send a whole group of them to a team member, a friend, whatever. But for our uses, we want individual pages. So I'm going to mark this as page 2, number 2. And number 1 was default automatic, so we didn't have to mark that. So now we're going to put, because this is page 2, we're putting page 2. Make sure that you mark that it's going to have a transparent background, and then download it. And then once it's downloaded, your default graphics software will open, and you'll see the file, and it should have a gray and white background And that's to indicate to you that that background is going to be transparent. And so that in the manner necessary for your software application or images, you're going to save this file to your computer so that you can use it later. Now I'm just going to close this and I'm going to minimize the software. Okay, now we've created the files that we need for labels. And so we're going to close that. I know that took us a while, but once you've done that, you're going to reuse these over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And you're going to be so glad you did this because this is going to save you massive amounts of time. And so now we're going to just select the average social media canvas, which you can use across all the platforms most easily. And so we're going to select that social medias. It's an 800 by 800 pixel diagram. And from there, we're going to give it a background. Would you like background? Would you like to learn how to do a background? Let's start with a simple background to get going. Let's put just a plain color background, because then I'm going to trick you and I'm going to make, how would you like this background to just become a border to a photo? So we want to add a photo now at this point, so we're going to go to upload, and you would click on upload, and you would have to have already gotten a photo that you want to use somewhere and loaded it to your computer, and then clicking on upload, you would go to that place on your computer's hard drive and select that image. So for right now, I'm going to use one that I've already uploaded. I'm going to use this one. And so it's smaller than I want, so I'm going to move it up to the corner. I'm going to leave just a little bit showing, and then I'm going to stretch this out with the opposite corner and back it off just a little bit. And when I see the lines are set, I'm going to set that. If you should be able to, if you have it perfectly centered, you'll see crosshairs, dotted lines that go both up and down and left and right over our picture. Whoops, I shifted, so then let go when you have it there. And then this can be any image, whatever you're going to be using. And then you can add text to it. But what we're going to do first is we're going to add a label. And you say, why are we going to do that? Because we're going to create a base that you can use over and over and over again. So we would go here and we would upload, and we would go select from our hard drive those files. We're going to use the white text one. We're going to select the file that we would be using as a label. So right now, I already have that uploaded. So I'm going to utilize the one here that you can see that's uploaded. Now I'm going to click on that. And it's going to come up. And it's very large, as you see, to the whole picture. I want it larger because going downward, the definition stays really good, and you can see how sharp and crystal clear it is no matter how small we're going with it. If I make it too small and I'm going to have to enlarge it, it starts to become distorted and you start to see the pixels show up in the item in that file. So that's why I start large and go small. I try to always do it in that fashion so that I get the best image and as crystal clear as possible. Whoops, picked up the wrong one, so I realign it, make sure I'm clicked on there, make sure I have the crosshairs, and then move the text to where I want it. And I can place this anywhere I want it. You can put it in the middle and it'll show you cross up and down hairs to show that you're on center. You can put it far right. You can put it no margin edges right up to the border. That's what I like, and I like to most often on my network marketing ones, I keep it far left. On my primary business, I put them in the center. The reason I do that is so I can easily spot which graphics I'm looking at. So once I have that all set, then I'm going to give this a name. And this might be image backgrounds 2017. You can give it any name you want, but this is going to be something we're going to use over and over and over again. So now, once we've created that base, we're not going to alter this so that we always have this to work with. So again, we're going to use the duplication. We're going to duplicate that. And then right away, we're going to add some text to it. Let's go to text again. Let's select some text. Let's change to my favorite. You'll want to be using whatever it is going to be that you're going to brand yourself. I highly recommended selecting one and using it over and over and over again so that when people see that with the colors that you use and in the font that you use, they kind of automatically associate that with you because that's what you're always using, and so that's what they start to see as you. And so then I would pick that up and I just move it where I want it, and then I'm going to change the text for that. I'm going to say Happy New Year, and that's what I wanted. And we could make it just a little bit bigger if we wanted. Let's go a little bigger. Does it look good bigger? Yeah, it looks good bigger. So we might adjust it a little more. And I might want to add another text, and I want the same color, obviously. Whoops. And I want the same font, but I don't want the same message. So what I'm going to do is while we have that text highlighted, I'm going to go over here to the top in this column where I have options of things to do, and we're going to do copy. And so you see you get an extra copy. And then we're going to move that over here where I'm going to use it. And then I am going to use it, but it's going to be much smaller. So I'm going to bring that in and make it smaller. And right now it has a lot of text in it, so that's what it thinks it needs to do. Oops. So oops. Get off of it. There, come back to it. There. Now I want 2017 in there, and yeah, I've messed up my picture and everything. I don't want that returned. So let's fix the picture. Yeah, that's quick. Okay, we're done. Now, make sure I highlighted the text. Move the text where you want it. That's having a hard time showing up, so on this one I might change the color of that. Even though I don't want to, I might do it anyhow and make that one white so it stands up better. Okay, that's good. And then I'm done. So I would come up here and I would rename this one, and we give this one a title and save it. You can hit enter there or click the done. Now you're going to download it, and don't forget we're on page 2, so you're going to select page 2. You want to leave page 1 as your template. We're not going to make this transparent because we want it to show up just the way it is. Then it's going to automatically open in your default image software. You're going to go through the steps to save that file. Don't forget to save this. It will save it in Canva for you so that you can resave it again, but you can't do much with it when it's in the state within your Canva files that exist there. So do yourself a favor and save it at this point. Close your graphics software. And that, my friends, is how you create professional looking posts utilizing Canva. Feel free to ask me your questions and send me a message if you need help, and I'll see if I can't reach out to you when I have as soon as I have time available, and I'd be happy to give you a hand. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.